What's going on, guys? So today on this SHOKY review, we're going to be taking a look at something new, sort of. At least, it came out close enough to me. Oh, hold on. I just realized that. There we go. Alright, so this is the Super Mini Plow, also known as Shokugan Modeling Project, GaoIcarus model kit slash set, and that is, of course, what is known as the it's very unfortunately named ISIS Megazord here in the States from our Wild Force. And actually, it's pretty cool. Unfortunately, this came in the more Bandai monochrome colors instead of fully colored, the way the other boxes tend to be. So let's see here. I'll pick a side to go down to. And of course, you can open it one of two ways. You can open the pull tabs, which would allow the whole top to come off at an interesting angle, revealing the boxes inside. I chose to cut it up like a shoebox. Get another image of it right there. Drop this down just a little bit. There we go. And then we come around here. You can see all the different Zords included in the box. Got some stuff here, Really nice images there. Big old barcode across that side. And then you come around that side. You got all the things and such and labels and whatnot. That's actually a really, really cool logo. I never noticed that it's got like the lion head and the tail. It's pretty awesome, actually. And come around over here. Once again, Zords, different pose, all that kind of goodness. And there's no any of the warnings or anything. And if you open it up, inside you do get little boxes that are reminiscent of the original back in the day. I'll pull it up here and see how similar they are. Yay, look how cool that is. It looks exactly like the old box. Or boo, it looks nothing like it. Okay, so at least here you get the color stuff, which is cool. And you get CG renders of the Zords, CG render of the actual model kit. You get all things there: Gao Giraffe, Gao Deers, Gao Rhinos, and Gao Falcon. And you come back here, of course, GaoIcarus. All the Zords come together, make the big flyy thing. You get all the cool stuff there, and look, here's all the sets so far. We already have all this. It's pretty awesome. And then there's all the Zords so far, and then you have, well, whatever the heck that says. Provided by Toei Company. Thanks, Toei. I will say, at least on the packaging here, they definitely have the wings tucked away a certain way. But this is just a nice way to keep everything compact for the review, obviously. I'm not keeping all this, but let's go ahead and get the box out of the way and start looking at this new set of Zords we got. Alright, so here we have all of the Zords that come in this particular set. Of course, I have Gao Falcon, otherwise known as just the Red Falcon Zord. We do have Gao Rhino and Gamadillo there. This is a repeat of the one we got before, so nothing new there. It's the exact same. And the only difference is when I built this one, I changed out this sticker and the sticker for the eyes on the armadillo. And I will say a little weird bit that this one doesn't sit as nicely as the old one does. And due to some damage incurred while assembling this, I'm going to leave this guy permanently in Rhino mode for display and use the other one already as a set pair of legs. Just letting you guys know that ahead of time. I'm going to set that one aside. We've already looked at that one, but we do have a Gao Giraffe to check out, which is pretty cool. And a Gao Deer, or Deers, or the Deer Zord, as it were. A bit of hollowness there. Alright, so let's start with the two arm Zords, because they're the easiest ones to kind of go over, and then we'll look at the big body Falcon back there, which is pretty much one of the largest Zords, singular, like, Zords that there was, at least up until that point. So, I mean, even Alligator was technically smaller. So, alright, let's look at Deer up close, because I've got it in hand. Okay, so with the Gao deer here. It does have nice kind of greenish color scheme going on here with the gold. You do get a whole bunch of stickers, including right here, all of this and all that. And even right here on the forehead. Looks pretty cool. I'm going to zoom in just a hair. Come on. There we go. You do get pre-painted eyes, which is good. Here on the horns, you get pre-painted gold lining there, more or less. And then back around this side, you do get a pre-painted bit there as well. But yeah, it's pretty interesting. There's some movement here, so you do get that can move up and down. The head itself doesn't really go anywhere. I do love the molded in ears. That's cute. The horns technically can open up, so if you really want to have more of a open look, you can. You do get a rotation forward and back. Of course, that's part of the gimmick itself. But for deer mode, you tend to do this. And it does also have super hollow parts on the back. Kind of a mane situation going down the spine there. Looks kind of cool. All the legs do rotate freely. You do have the arm peg kind of hole sort of there. Is that? That's the arm peg hole, yeah? Yeah, okay. Had to think about it for a second. You do also get some knee joints as well. That is also for transformation. It can go back quite a bit for, well, reasons. I don't know. Same thing here. And you do get some pre-painted gold here and there. And then you got a little bitty gold plastic tail. Pretty easy to assemble. Not that big a deal. Where is another? Okay, so this is also a sticker. The green bit going around the torso there. It's a very minty Zord. Alright, so that aside, let's look at the giraffe. See a nice transition there? Whoa. That just like blew out just a second. I'm gonna take that down just a notch. There we go. There's a lot of reflection. Alright, so basically almost the exact same mold for the leg parts here, except it's now orange and silver instead of the green and the gold. Same thing for most of the body. It's pretty much the same thing. Silver paint here, silver and brown paint there. I did add some brown panel line marker. Please zoom in. There we go. Brown panel line marker here. You do get gold little parts that go right there above the hoofs. You do get a little bitty tail. You get some spots go down the back like so, and then right there as well. Same thing going up the neck. You also got the kind of silver metallic pre-painted mane, for lack of a better term. He can come down about like that. The head can pivot as well. He does got some little silver horns, some red painted eyes, and you can open the mouth, which is pretty cool. Can you open the deer mouth? Yes, I did mistake that, because the deer in the show like to sing, if I remember correctly. So there you go. You can actually open up the deer mouth as well. So this was one of the rare occasions where I actually did panel line it, because I figured it needed it, and I panel lined it all in brown. Initially I started in dark gray, and I was like, wait, don't do that. You can actually, if I recall, yes, you can turn the head of the giraffe as well. And zoom back out a little bit here. And of course, side by side. The biggest difference is the lower legs are significantly longer, but the actual, thighs and hips and whatnot are essentially forelegs and stuff. They're all the same mold. It just changes up what the ultimate details are. So that's pretty cool. Let's look at the big red bird now. Okay. Now this one was definitely the most complicated. Definitely took me the longest to do. And I will point out right now, guys, if you are a channel member, you would have seen me building this and kind of giving my thoughts on the build as it went. If you're interested in that, by all means, become a channel member today. And yeah, this thing has the most paint, the most stickers. And I guess the transformation isn't crazy, but there is a good amount of it. Now, it does come pre-painted all along here All this gold is pre-painted all along here. But for some reason, they didn't paint these areas. Don't know why. Could have. It's literally as equally difficult as this. Same thing here on the back. All of this is stickers. And then even here on the tail, painted stickers. Stickers, all the stickers there. And I would assume that the original toy also had a buttload of stickers. Now you do get some down here on the feet as well. And because of transformation, those are getting a little dinged up. So frankly, won't be doing a whole lot with it in the future. Now you do, unfortunately, much like all of the other chest Zords, you do get some pegs hanging out the side. It is what it is. Oh, let's look at the head here. You do get the painted head. It looks really friggin' good. Even here, this is all painted. Looks cool. Silver, black, gold, all of that. And then, for whatever reason, while you can open the mouth, they didn't paint the lower jaw. They left it the gold plastic. Come on. There we go. You do get a little bit of movement with the head. Not a lot, or else you start revealing stuff. You do get a good bit of movement here in the legs, here at the hip section, and then the middle of the leg, ankle. You got rotation. You do have the claws kind of hanging out down here. It's pretty cool. Now, the other thing you do get is this stand, the Animarium stand. I kind of want to paint this one day, but just didn't have time. And it does come with a post, like so. And you can plug it in to the hole in the chest. And now that brings it way up here. And this is something like a 19-inch wingspan, something like that. It's pretty ridiculous, if I'm honest. That's an estimation. I just took a guess at it. Now, the wings themselves have plenty of joints here, so you can go virtually straight up, you know, and then you've got all of these bendy joints in the middle, which is cool. And then even a little forward swing out there. Now, the original version came essentially like this to a degree, with a little bit of curve in it because of the kind of shield mode that it has later on. It basically came with its wings permanently fixed in this position. So it's really cool that in this version, in fact, with this entire like model set, it feels like they corrected things they always wanted to get right on the toy and just never could. You do have a big old hole down here and another one back here on the back of the tail. That's for mounting purposes later. So let's go ahead and bring out basically the whole zoo as of this point. Okay, I actually got to back up a bit to get everybody on screen here. So, you know, all of our other sets, Kongazord, original Gao King, or, you know, Wild Force Megazord, and then, of course, everybody extra. And I do have the so-called flying ones back there on the stand. And by the way, the original Eagle is not keen on staying on that stand at all. That's a lot. This is a lot, guys. And what's really funny is we never got something that could combine all of them, because there's literally like no way, you know, because you've got, you know, huge torso Zord, big torso Zord plus legs, you know, another one. So, you know, there's no good way to have combined them all into something like an Ultra Zord. You know, we do get a really big one that's coming later. Teasers for the next episode. But for now, let's clear out the menagerie, and we'll transform the Zords as they are, and get the GaoIcarus formed up. Okay, but everybody else moved out of the way here. Let's go ahead and get everybody transformed up for this one. And we'll take the giraffe. We're going to pull down on the neck, straighten out the head, swing the leg forward, kick that up like that, like so. Back legs, tuck back, and flip up, basically like so. Leaving that there, you can push the tail in, which, by the way, getting that tail out, huge pain in the ass. And then you kind of just want these straightforward like so. And then in weapon mode, or in arm mode, you want to grab this cool thing, silver painted like nose cone. By the way, they give you two different kind of visor stickers, a red one and a silver one. I went with the silver one like a dummy. Wish I'd gone with the red one. Oh well, too late now. And this just slides on like so, and then like his little mouth sort of clicks into place there. And like you can adjust this however you need to. Obviously, like the way the elbows tend to work is still there. And then you even get some bicep swivel if you try. Now, I could be wrong. I'll double check that whenever I get done. All right, so deer, basically same thing. Legs down, fold in, leg down, fold in, whole neck and everything down, and then the grips stay there. Fold the back legs up, back legs in, like so, and kind of flip that over. There's nothing to do with the tail there, just sort of there. The only unfortunate thing is that that is now exposed, but I guess realistically, if you're going to pull this down, you can kind of do it like that sideways if you're going to do it. You know, you do want to pull it down a little bit to extend out to get the elbow. Actually, that's what I screwed up here. Pull down. Nope, not. So I'm pulling down a little too hard. That's what I want. I just want to expose the elbow. Didn't want to like drop the entire freaking thing. But it's okay. It's okay, guys. All right, so let's get to the big birdie boy. Go ahead and get this off of the base here, which we'll come back in a minute after I get everybody settled. So far more engaged transformation here. So we want to grab the whole white section here. We'll flip up your yellow center fin. Grab this entire section here. And wait, I'm stupid. Before you cram that, this whole section here has to come out. And by the way, that wants to pop off really easy because the hinge below it does not move that easy. So that'll fold over and go ahead and push that all the way down. Now this will move, dummy. And like there's a temptation like this should fold down, but it actually does not. It looks like it should like pull out and collapse down and all that kind of stuff. It does not. It just stays there like that. So the next thing you need to do, you need to take the legs and utilizing the hinges here and all of this, including the very tight knee hinge. You want to bring this up and wreck your stickers, which is, this will be the last time I really transform this, guys, because I hate these things for trying to preserve the stickers, and it's always the stickers that are right up front that are the easiest to destroy. So once again, super tight, and you want that folded up all the way. There's a peg that will go in right there, but before you do that, you need to tilt the Falcon head down, grab the Megazord head on this double hinge, and pull it up and out, and then fold that back up. Sorry. All right, and once again, be careful here. And there's a little bit of clearance between the kind of cheek area right here and this. And if you don't have it just right, you will get some wonkiness, which is what happened to me when I first put it together. Okay. So, like that. Once again, destroy your sticker while you're at it. And plug that bad boy in right about there. Like so. this is what I'm talking about. So if the falcon head is not necessarily in the way, it should be fine. I guess you tilt it back a little bit. Maybe that helps for clearance sake. It also says to leave these claws open. I kind of prefer to close them. I think it looks a little bit better. Once again, this area over here getting damaged. And that's all super unfortunate. So make sure Megazord head is stuck up like that. Also, we're going to fold the wings back. Basically like this. This is not something you have to do. It just looks better. In fact, you can kind of tuck these back. If you've got clearance with these back feathers, just kind of... Actually, you can, if you just finagle it. Because there is so much wing. Like, even with that, that's losing a third or maybe even a quarter of the wing there. And you still have all of this to work with. So, of course, you do have to do the rhino. But because, well, frankly, I don't feel like tearing apart my rhino again, we're going to grab our Gao King, which is sad. And we're going to just kind of eliminate this entire upper section here, because, you know, screw those Zords, right? And put the rhino legs on here. And mind you, what I'm doing here is literally just utilizing the ones we have already instead of utilizing a new one. And the reason I'm doing that is because that's the way it was in the show. Alright, so grab your giraffe and very carefully plug it in over here like so. Grab your deer and put it over here also like so, and utilizing a little shoulder action there, get it out. And now we have GaoIcarus looking pretty epic, and you can adjust your shoulder pauldrons to your liking and your elbows however you want to do, but it does look really, really good. Now, just for a quick comparison's sake, this is my original set for Rhino, and you can see this is the new one, the difference in the stickers. So you got that versus that when it comes to the armadillo, light up eyes versus non-lit up eyes. Okay, now one thing you will immediately notice, it's very back heavy. Now you can utilize this tail as sort of a prop, and it'll just stand there perfectly fine and dandy. If you believe that something can be fine and dandy at the same time, it can do that. And that's pretty awesome. The other thing you can do, you can take your animarium stand, if you're keen on this, and you can put your tail straight out, and you're going to have to rotate it maybe, because I don't know. No, it'll go. I didn't think it would, but it did. Yeah, there's a little tiny tooth there, actually, to kind of keep it lined up. So you can actually prop it up ever so slightly by the falcon tail, though that is a lot of weight hanging way out back. What I prefer, which is of course the alternate version, let's put that tail down once again for prop's sake. Grab this guy, which does have teeth in it, so you know it's not just going to turn for you. Wiggle it loose, get it at a 90-degree angle, and you do have a hole in the butt, as it were. Plug that in there, and now it is super duper stable, with the exception of it wanting to rotate on you. But now we have GaoIcarus in its ridiculous birdie flying mode, and this actually gives us the ability to check out some articulation and stuff. So obviously you got rotation joints here, and if you utilize it, you can get a really extended kind of butterfly joint here, you know, if you're keen on such thing. And in fact, you can raise this shoulder up, I guess, and get like super high shoulder. I don't know if you're supposed to do that, but you can. Oops. Get that head back up. By the way, I really like this head sculpt. It's pretty dang cool. Actually, that doesn't look terrible. Getting the shoulders up that high. In fact, it helps with clearing the backpack a little bit. And by the way, there's a hole right here in the back of the backpack. Like right there, as though something is meant to plug into it. So perhaps there's something missing there. Alright, so let's zoom in on the head sculpt and check out the birdie nest here. And it does look really freaking cool. Yeah. And of course, elbows. You got your double jointed elbows here. You do get bicep rotation technically. And utilizing the horns, you can grab stuff just like it would. You couldn't see any of that. I was zoomed in. You can utilize this for claw mode like you do. And then on the giraffe spear side, one thing that's cool, you can actually, dang it, you can do, it's like long, like shooty spear mode, like so. So you can like attack from a distance, which is kind of cool. Kind of dig that. And of course you can rotate it that way, get a more effective spear attack, like so. Try to get it decently aimed. These are very cool Megazord. Alright, the other thing is, of course, it does have its eyes hidden away like that. I guess technically you probably should have that up. And now it's looking at you. These are actually cool translucent pieces. Does look very awesome. Now it does, of course, have an attack that's featured with this. And if you push in like that, you can pop it out. Should have known I was going to do that. And you can grab the stunning version in a very literal sense. Not just that it's pretty. It is meant to stun and like capture an enemy. And then you can attack, which it does have like a kicking attack with the armadillo. That's a badass shot there. Okay, so let me get these out of the way. And then actually with the, come on, focus. With the giraffe, you do get this as well. Now I'm going to be honest with you. I think that comes with this one, because there were two effect parts that came in this kit and then the next one. And going to be honest, I can't remember if this is the one that comes with this or not, or if I'm teasing by accident, you know, because that happens. Okay, and then of course you can do the shield mode, which is definitely interesting. So let's rotate the shoulders down for now. I know that's not technically correct, but it works. Alright, so I want to close up the wings, like so. And basically in the format I already have it in, basically you want to flip that up like that. And, oh, that is not rotating at the correct joint. There we go. So you want it to come down here. You move the deer out of the way. And then this will come down here. So we want up like so. And then forward. Actually, I guess that's a combo. You're supposed to utilize both of those hinges to get it to flip up and in front, like so. Okay, and then on this side, there's a couple of tabs that you can flip out. Where's the other one? Right there. And then you just close that up. Oh, got some crud right here. And now it's in shield mode, protecting itself, which is pretty cool. Like, that utilizes all that beautiful paint work that they did on this thing. And like I said, you can utilize this. I think that's about as good as it'll get. You can probably just bend it a little bit. And so that's where I said that the original toy version was basically the wings were fixed so that you could manage this at any given point. There was no flexibility, unfortunately. But, this could stop almost any attack. And let's see here. Of course, if you want, you can leave the wings fully extended like some kind of crazy person. And then it's just absolutely crazy. Like, I just would never, especially considering I have to put this on a shelf with other things, So for me, I'm folding the wings back and utilizing as many of these hinges as possible to tighten it up. Because, of course, the wing width, or wingspan, as it were, was probably a bit inconsistent on camera. Go figure that something like that would happen in a Power Ranger series, right? Right. Okay. So let's get our shoulders a little bit more up. And actually, I'm going to take it off the stand for right now, because we're going to compare to our other Megazords. At least the ones that are still completely functional at this point. Stand out of here. And that is super shiny. Alright, so we can bring in, we can bring in the Predazord. And the Kongazord. And, at this point, you're just kind of like, well, not much else we could do here. Because you're left with, essentially, the top of Gao King, or the Wild Force Megazord. So you get the lion, then the shark, and the tiger, basically, just sort of hung out to dry, because there's no good way to combine all of them. Like, there's no form of like an Ultra Zord for these. Now I feel like I need to fix those shoulders because they're a little weird, but I guess it'll stand for right now. And of course, if you want to, you can swap the bull onto the legs. You could swap the shark with the bears, with the wolf, with everything, just like you can with everything else. But this is essentially the form of the quote-unquote ISIS Megazord, as they called it, unfortunately, at this particular point in time. But yeah, I think the only thing that's sort of a shame, and I get it, that basically they don't care when it comes to these figures. You get an entirely new Rhino. Like I said, that's my original Rhino. This is the new one. And I don't need an entire new Rhino. You could have just faked up the legs like they did with the Bullzord. And by the way, I could have used this, but I'm an idiot. And I went ahead and transformed the entire Bullzord. So, I mean, if I eliminate the fake eagle here, I can throw this on here. Like so, and I can fake it up. There's no knee action or anything else like that, which always kind of sucked. But I mean, like, so there's, if you want to pretend there's an extra bison, it's like if they had just had one more Zord that could make legs, you'd be good. Now, this is of course everything that has transforming bits and pieces. But once again, having no ability to use the Red Lion and everything else like that, yeah, it sucks a little bit. But I mean, we get this really cool now flying Megazord. It's a perfect time for somebody to be doing dishes right now. But either way, guys, that's going to be it for this review. And of course, next time we'll be continuing this series with the two next Zords, as it were. And we'll be using a good chunk of this as well when it comes to that. So, alright guys, I will catch you on the next one. Go watch the rest of the Super Mini Plo reviews if you have not. And of course, all the Power Rangers Lightning collections as you go. But until then, remember as always, keep on building.